All right, welcome back to Bring Back the Red and Black. It is harder than you think to say it. I'm one of your hosts, Don Shell, on that very surprising run towards Essendon presidency, hopefully from 2030 onwards. Bringing you the intro today with my good friend and running mate, Ryan Kerwood, here with us. How are you, Ryan?
I'm good, Don. It's nice to be on the receiving end of the intro.
You've asked for it specifically because you're a bit hot under the collar and you wanted to dive into quarter one.
I did. I wanted to take the new ball today, and I didn't think I could do the intro and take the new ball.
Well, I'm still going to run through very quickly because we do have new listeners every week. And a lot of them, as the Oracle has pointed out, we're starting to get a bit of an Asian following, along with New Zealand as well, but predominantly still Australia.
Great.
But quarter one, we're going to review what we, I guess, call a football game on the weekend. Quarter two is looking ahead to potentially another spanking. Quarter three, it's a bit of a mix of off-field stuff. And today we've got a pretty big topic that's probably been in the news for the last 6 to 8 weeks in the background as an Essendon news story, especially if you follow Tom Morris amongst other journalists, quote unquote. And then quarter four, we are going back to Ask the Don and a bit about the Don's sort of themes and strategies as president. But take it away. You were at the game.
Yes.
Unfortunately, again, now 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah, well, that's it. So 2 weeks in a row I've been to the game, sitting in vastly different sections. Last week, Medallion Club. This week, literally the bleachers. So as far back as you could be.
Yeah.
Because that's how many fans were at the game.
Yeah.
And
I was surprised.
Yes. It couldn't find a seat. Took us ages to find a seat. All GA, but all members was open. So it didn't look that busy. And in between that, I went to that Essendon event that we talked about last week that Hurdy and Lloydie spoke at. So in a 2 week span, I feel like I've been around a lot of Essendon fans. And it was leaving the game this weekend, like a little girl, and I'm not making this up.
It's already funny. Yeah, it is.
A little girl literally said to her dad, "Are we going to be 18 forever?" And I was heartbroken. I was heartbroken for her because we won't. We won't. But like being around that many fans, all shapes and sizes, all colours and ethnicities, all levels of passion for the club. It just reaffirms why we're doing this. Yeah, like, look, are we tongue-in-cheek that you're going to be president? No. There's a chance. Is it a big chance? No, but you might.
Yeah. Don't grow the chip on my shoulder, though. Yeah.
But who we do it? Like, it's who we're doing this for. Like, there's a chance that, this is never a big podcast. But there is a chance that one day we have a voice and we're throwing enough ideas out there, positive ideas to make this club better, that one of them gets picked up. And like even that small chance sort of gave me some motivation today to keep going. Like, yeah, we can sit here like every other media pundit and talk about how Redmond did a bad kick, how ADW did a bad kick, and there were bad turnovers, and it's the lowest moment.
16 in the defensive 50, but they still took uncontested marks, like things like that.
Yeah, like we can talk about how bad they are, or we can start to be the voice of the fans, start to rally us as an amazing supporter base, and that's might be my takeaway over the last couple of weeks. We are playing as bad a footy as you can. The confidence is as low as I've ever seen in a football club. Like Redmond is a very, very good player. His confidence is that low that he's doing that.
Yeah.
So
I've never seen a ball spin that way, by the way. That's a physics one. But Ripley's, believe it or not, that the AFL ball could come off the foot in that way.
It was wild. Came off his knee. It actually shouldn't have been paid a mark. It came off his knee. But if things will turn, but they'll turn quicker if us as fans, I know it's going to be hard. Like we stay supportive. It's very easy to quit and not want to support them because it's hard to watch. But if we're cheering anytime they do something good, not jeering anytime they finally get a mark, the players will get confidence and they will start to get good.
No, I think the jeering, like I hate when supporters do that. And I think it's something, although they're very passionate, Carlton fans do, Melbourne fans turn on their own very quickly. So I agree with that. I think one thing that we are passionate about is that we hope to get a loud enough platform that maybe, we do say tongue in cheek that Cal Toomey and others are listening in, but like if you do get to a point where you're big enough, people are listening in. Yeah. And maybe some of the things that we're trying and some of the change that we're trying to impact actually gets listened to.
Yeah. So look, please share this with your friends that you think would be interested in hearing somewhat of a positive spin, trying to find somewhat of a silver lining, not trying to find some hope, actually trying to find some strategy in what's going on at the moment, because we won't be this bad forever. But this is a small helping hand that we can give to a club and a fan base that deserves a good club. Look, we'd love the listeners.
Forever 18. I can see that sort of being a Hollywood sort of movie. Very similar to Suddenly 30 with Jennifer Garner, but sort of the other way. She just stays 18 years old the whole time.
You must have had the Bali DVD version. It was 13 going
on. Well, look, I guess, is that your good? It's from the game. But
sorry.
Yeah.
I was just rattled lately. Yeah. That poor little girl.
Yeah. How old was this girl?
Like old enough to have like the cute little squeaky voice.
Yeah, okay. So, and probably not old enough to be listening to bring back the Red and Black.
I hope she's not listening.
Because that would be a further depressive Monday. Okay, yeah. What was your good from this game?
There was a few. The second half was much better than the first. It wasn't pretty footy. There was a few players that were just having a crack and almost killed themselves. So, and there's probably 3 players that could be injured this week because they were flying in the air. So Dursma, Sharp, and El Hawley, I really liked their game.
Yeah,
and Dursma, he's playing such a tough role on the wing, yet making the most of it, flying for everything down back. He doesn't execute all the time, but having an absolute crack.
Half forward and wing are the hardest roles to play in a shit team.
Yeah. Sharp, I'm growing a fan every week. He still hasn't had his breakout game. He's a pure midfielder and he's quite good aerially. He creates a good contest. Once he gets a bit fit, right, Oracle? I think he's going to be a really good player. And El Hawley's second half, when we moved him down back, which we asked for last week, he took some clunks. He actually mans up.
How was his kicking?
He kicks as well as any other Essendon player. Yeah. Okay.
Well, look, that's more good than I've found. What about your bad? And then we'll get to mine.
I don't know why I expected us to be better coached by getting rid of our head coach. And I'm glad we've tried something, but if something's not working, don't continue with it. The fact we were getting smashed in the middle in the second quarter and our prize midfielder is still playing down back, not manning up. I just couldn't believe we didn't put him in early. As soon as we put him in the midfield, I don't know if we won the second half or not, but we would have been thereabouts. And it was mostly on the back of Merrett going in the middle. Setterfield on the wing, ADW tagging. What are we doing? What are we trying to develop here?
It feels like I love how Solly speaks. I love his demeanor, love everything, but you have to convince me otherwise that he doesn't just have a dartboard in the room with every single move that's been done in his time. It's almost like over coaching.
Yeah.
As opposed to just giving simple messages, which to me, when you're an extremely struggling football club, the last thing you need is to be thinking and not playing on instinct or just 1 or 2 simple messages.
Yeah.
You know what it reminded me of? They talk about the golf swing.
Yes.
And that if you have too many messages in your backswing, it's very, detrimental to a good golf game. I think it's especially when you're an average golfer. We're a very average football team. Remove these layers of complexity. None of them are working. So just remove all of them.
Yeah.
Strip it back to the absolute basics. We spoke about this, I think, 4 or 5 rounds ago, a while ago, when Brisbane, can you imagine the Brisbane writing about us with our weaknesses and then saying, Jackson Price, that was in any other year, if we weren't so shit, that would have been a story for weeks and weeks. That story ended in a week because then coach lost, then we lost by 100 again, then this happened and this happened. Go back to that. I think we said something in the pod. Give each player 1 task. That's it. Forget the team game plan. They have no capability of playing the team game plan. So remove it.
Yeah.
Go, you have 1 task. That's it. And just go back to the basics. I think we'd lose by 5 or 6 goals, but there would be hunger, there would be excitement, there would be learning.
And you could find one player in all of that to to build around, like
Correct.
to build the role around.
Yep.
Like I get it. Maybe ADW could have been a tagger, but he was building as a
he was.
wingman.
And he's one of the rare, like I saw him do a kick, I think it was against North, where he kicked it from the back line. It was a 55-metre kick. We don't have many players that can kick 55 metres.
Yeah.
Penetrating,
hit a
55
target,
metres.
looks in board. No one else looks in board. It's like they've drawn the squares, like we are not allowed to kick here.
But imagine, like, they must be thinking, go back to this area of your zone and then make sure that if they have X players ahead of the ball, that you're in this. But, like, can you imagine thinking and playing football like that? Like, you wouldn't. They don't look like they're having fun. I feel there's the siren. I feel like Auskick is where we're at right now.
Yeah.
One job, which is see ball, get ball, usually for the Oz kickers, and have fun.
Yeah. Two things.
Yeah.
I went and watched my nephew play footy. He's at that Oz kick age. They do it in thirds now, so it's not everyone chasing around.
Yeah.
We should actually play like that.
That would be amazing.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Forward, stay forward.
Yeah.
My kick after the siren, last week I said it was going to be the Nick Bryan game.
Yeah. I said no one's ever said that or might ever say that again, and I stand by that comment. It was the opposite.
We need to recruit a ruckman so badly. Not like he's good. He's not a bad tack ruckman, but he may as well just go to the bench after doing the centre bounce and come back on after a goal's been kicked because he's not negative, net nothing.
I agree, but I do feel like he's a symptom of this whole lack of confidence and lack of direction. That in a good, I can see him like doing well in a good team.
I don't think he took a mark.
Yeah, I understand that, but like it's really hard, whatever they put out there. But it wasn't the Nick Bryan game. We can officially confirm 100% unequivocally the game that happened on the weekend was not the Nick Bryan game. Or maybe it was that bad that it was the Nick Bryan game.
He wasn't in our worst.
All right, quarter two.
Quarter two.
Who are we playing this week? Is it?
It's Brisbane.
Brisbane.
In Brisbane.
At the Gabba.
At the Gabba.
Small ground.
Whiteboard Gate 2.0.
The song plays every time they kick a goal. There's going to be a lot of Country Road, a lot of Charlie Cameron.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do we have any forced outs?
Not that I know of. Oracle, I'm looking at you.
Yeah.
It's a minor miracle.
Yeah.
Maybe ADW looked a bit sore. I did see him come off a few times, and I think maybe Mackay got delisted at 3/4 time.
Oh, Mackay. We'll get back to him. So who do you want to see in?
So the VFL had a good win.
They do. And they chalked up enough good wins this year.
Yeah.
Which, yeah. Again, you guys have watched more VFL than me, or Echo and Ryan, but it feels like they just play football and let the players do whatever their role is for the day.
Yeah.
And keep them there.
And they tackle. Yeah. Yeah. There's some good non-Essendon listed players on there that it's good to have. It's a sign, like, have senior players around your up and coming young players. Like it's just a lesson what we need to do with our list next year. But the positive there, Angus Clark was really good. Kick 2, had 20 odd disposals.
Yeah.
Look, he probably, if we were Geelong, he'd have another 2 weeks in the VFL and do that so he knows that wasn't a fluke or can repeat it. But given we're playing centre field on the wing, and Angus Clark's a wingman, informed wingman. Let's just get him in. So Clark in for Setterfield.
Yep.
Unless I like Setterfield, I'm happy that he gets another chance on the list because we're going to lose a midfielder in Merrett. Maybe we'll talk about it in Q3. So,
spoiler:
play him as a midfielder or don't play him at all. And I think Archie Roberts is back, who we've really missed.
Is he back? But I don't know. We're looking at the Oracle like he has inside word into the teams.
Yes, he was 1 week away, trained really hard. I think, he's ready to go. Wants to win his BNF. So Roberts in for Ben Mackay because he doesn't have a position.
Yeah. I don't mind Ben Mackay going out because, again, I agree, doesn't have a position. I don't know what to do. But like for me, the number one out, and I know it won't happen, is Darcy Parish. It stands for everything that we just don't need as a football club right now. When he gets the ball, it's pointless. When he doesn't have the ball, there's no hunger. His kicks go 50 metres into the air. He's not an inspiration to any player, and he's not a blueprint to any of our young players about how to play the game of football. At least Ben Mackay, like runs and jumps at the footy, and like I could say, hey, there's something to follow there. Even Nate Caddy, like Ben I'm big on, and I saw some Essendon fans on random Bomber sites saying as well, Nate Caddy needs to stop taking mark of the year every time that he goes for it. I don't see one thing that Parrish does that I would point at any of our players and go, you should follow this. So therefore, I don't think he should ever play a game for the Essendon Football Club again. It's a strong opinion, but I'm just so sick of what he represents for this mediocrity that we've accepted.
I'm going to strongly disagree with you.
Yeah.
And I deliberately watched him for large periods of the game just to see what's happened, what's going on, where's he playing. He did play a bit up forward, which was interesting, that we were just trying to get Sharp and Roby some midfield time and Merrett. But something I really noticed, like his touch is far cleaner than any other player we've got on the team by daylight.
What do you mean his touch? Like
his first touch, picking the ball up.
Yeah. Okay.
He ends up doing these long, dumpy, shitty kicks because he's looking for the first option where there should be a player. There's a number of times like he was looking and like, why isn't there a player streaming through, running through? Why isn't that central, sidewards kick? He looks for that first. He looks for the right option first, where we should have a player, and then has to like, oh shit, no one's there. Gets himself under pressure and does a shit kick. There was 3 or 4 occasions like in a row. I'm like, well, I can't blame Parrish for that. Yeah. If he was a bit more agile, like he could double back and loop and do that. But
that's why I want McGrath in that role. That's what I said last week. McGrath can do everything Parrish can do. I've seen him be in the midfield twice this year, get the ball, and then be able to actually do those annoying runs that he does that don't mean anything when he's doing them in the back line because they have no thought around them. But you actually want to do that when you're in the centre square to get out of trouble, when you have more space. It's a great disagreement, this one, and I don't disagree that his first touch is okay. I think as well, when he does have the handball, he doesn't actually hit that handball really well. So it's not even that helpful when people are streaming by. I don't know. I just think he's such a byproduct of the past. And then, you mentioned he's made an All-Australian and this and that. This is what we hold on to, is these high draft picks, this previous success. Your success only matters to me over the past 5 weeks. That's it. That's all that matters to me.
Well, in the past 5 weeks, he's won at best on ground in a losing team.
Which is
40-odd disposals.
One day when I run the Scottish sort of detective unit, I'm going to do a royal inquest into that.
Scotland.
Yeah, Scotland Yard. Yeah. I mean, when I run Scotland Yard, which will be after the presidency.
Which is in
the UK. I'm going to move to the UK and I'm going to go, the first order of matter is we had a massive crime. The Yukon medal was given out incorrectly to someone. Can we please solve how that happened? And that will be the first thing I solve.
Someone fact check this. I'm pretty sure he's won it twice in a losing team.
Well, that's
either one, because there was a year he won Anzac Day in that award, and I think maybe we lost both those games or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This reminds me, though, this is for next week. We're bringing back quarter 4 because we'll do the Don's mailbag, but someone suggested that we do best individual Essendon games that we remember. Top 5.
That's a good one.
Top 5,
yeah. That's a good one.
We could even maybe extend that to 10 if we're feeling a bit frisky.
Yes.
Yeah.
Any other ins or outs for you?
No, I'm pretty passionate on the Parrish one. I do think we've been Clarking. We've got nothing to lose. We've got 7 rounds left. And I think, I would bring in, if it made sense, I would bring in Huss and I would bring in New End because I do think they're...
Both of them?
Yeah, at some point over the next few weeks, not necessarily now. I think they need to get a minimum of 3 or 4 games in out of these last 7.
Yeah, I like Huss. I think he's going to be a good player for us. I think just get him fit, get him ready for next year.
Yeah.
Get him learning his role and earning a game. If he kicks a bag of 5 or 6, get him in. But, mate, you're not getting gifted games now. Like, you've got to earn it. Because otherwise, what incentive does he have to do because he's going to need to change his body type to play AFL. What incentive does he have if he's going to get gifted games like this?
Well, the issue is what we were saying last week, that he sees others get gifted games, and that's just really disheartening. Whether you agree with it or not, and whether you think players need to be stronger than watching what's happening around them, it's human nature to look to your left and look to your right and go, I played better than that.
Yeah.
And this guy, just because he was a top 20 draft pick, he gets 3 more chances than I do. All right, I'll go to Port. Like, I don't know. Like, I still think we're sending some of the wrong messages. I understand what you're saying. I don't think it's a clear Like, remember when Ben Hobbs needed to be picked and we were all up in arms? I don't think it's like that.
I don't want us to play anyone for the rest of the year for the sake of playing them.
Yeah.
There's no players that need games at the moment.
They don't need games, but if they deserve it and we feel like they can be put somewhere, and I feel like Nguyen just, like, remember when he did play those 2 games in the back line? Like, there was a bit of spark.
I like him down back.
In the back line. How can they not remember these same things we remember?
When you go to Scotland Yard, can you also...
That's another thing I want to understand is, like, we only spend 12 or 15 hours of our week, far too long thinking about Essendon.
Yeah.
These other people are employed for 40 hours and they can't remember the same things we remember.
Wild. He was
wild.
clean. 100% efficiency. He can lock down.
Yeah. Best made the Vietnamese team of the century.
He did.
He did.
After the sign, I'm with you that McGrath needs to go in the middle. If that's sacrificing Parrish to the twos, fine, because he did not man up. He was 20 metres away.
It's hard to watch.
20 metres away from Higgins.
He runs forward and then he starts jogging when the ball goes over his head instead of being like, I'm going to go man up the nearest player. It doesn't matter if it's my player or not. And this mentality, we know what we think of him as captain, but agree, just throw him in the middle. He's actually not that bad in the middle. And you know I'm one of his biggest naysayers.
Yes. Yeah. Great.
All right, quarter 3. You hinted at it, gave a little spoiler, but we've been wanting to chat about this because this is one of the number one topics, discourses in the Essendon Nuffy chats that we're in, is around Zach Merrett and his standing as it stands right now in the Essendon Football Club and whether it is better for our club that he stays or he goes, I guess, as a whole, taking into account everything that's happened over the last few years and genuinely whether we believe that it is better for the Essendon Football Club, not for our personal grievances or that he stays and goes. And so I think, we're going to have a pretty healthy debate here like we've always had. But, I'll probably get you to start because I think you've been one of the rare Essendon fans that has sort of held on to the opinion that we might as well keep him.
Yes, yeah. So you understand my position, loyal listeners. I've been thinking about it a lot. And look, I understand.
How much is a lot? Just is it hours a week?
Did I message you at 12:30 last night? It kept me up.
It did.
And it was like I got struck by lightning when I realized what keeping him would mean. Okay, my position is we keep him for 1 more year.
Yeah.
And then let him leave as a free agent. The reason being, realistically, what's the best trade package you're going to get back for him this year?
Do we not check though?
Oh, yeah, no, you always check, but everyone's on the table. I don't care who you are. Nate Caddy's on the table.
Yeah.
Sullivan Roby's the only person not on the table.
Yeah. And probably Durham, but yeah.
No, he is.
Yeah, no, I agree. He is.
Yeah, everyone's on the table. So realistically, what do you think we'll get back?
I think it's a first-round draft pick and a player.
And a player.
Yeah, and hopefully not a Henry Hustwaite.
Let's put a name to it. First round pick from Hawthorn, you're saying?
Yeah, let's say that. And
what is that going to be?
Yeah, in the mid-20s.
Oh, it could be 16. Yeah. I don't think there's going to be heaps of pushing back of those picks. So call pick 16 and Ramsden, maybe?
Yep. Yeah, someone like that.
Yeah? Okay.
Yep.
If we keep him 1 more year, they'll still have to pay him to leave. He's a greedy little... He knows what he's worth. He's
he is. He's a GLG. He's a greedy little goblin. Let's call it for what it is. Yeah.
Okay. He's a GLG.
Yeah.
He'll get paid when he leaves. We're going to be last, second last, or third last next year. Even if we recruit Dacos, Butters, like whoever you want, the confidence is too low. We're going to be bad next year.
Yeah.
So we're going to have a top 3 pick.
Yeah.
So if he leaves, walks out the door, we're going to have another top. We're going to have a first round compensation.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, unless we keep bloody re-signing him to these stupid
don't re-sign
deals.
him.
Yeah.
We're going to have pick 1.
Yeah.
He leaves, we get pick 2 as well. I'd rather pick 2 and Zach Merrett helping us be somewhat relevant, like bridging the gap for another year, than pick 16 and Henry Hastwaite who will never play a game for us.
Yep. What is that it in terms of reasoning?
The second one is I think we need to start changing the narrative around, look, what he did in the off-season, the way he went about it, horrible. But I think we start to empathise him a little bit as fans. He had every right to want to leave the club. They've lied to him. Like if you're at work, right, and you've got 3 best mates at work, and they delist one of them who would still be in our best 22 and trade the other 2, like just get rid of them, trade them to another firm, would you be pissed off?
Yeah, I'd be pissed off, but there's still a way that you operate, especially just as a player, let alone, but especially as the captain of the football club.
But he's literally watching us deliberately get worse when we're telling him, no, mate, we're going to get better.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't think that's a good enough reason to I guess to act the way that he did. So if we sort of pause there, and I'll let you go again towards the end, but I don't care if we get pick 1, pick 3, pick 5, pick 7. One of the major things that I'll be implementing if I ever get to the presidency is that one bad seed can ruin a whole organisation. And I'm not trying to put a black mark on what he did for that footy club and what type of leader he was. From all accounts, he was a fantastic leader. But just because you did something at X period of time, that doesn't then mean that you've continued to do that, and that needs to be remembered. You have to be held to account for your actions. You're given maybe some extra good graces, but you're held to account for your actions in the moment. He betrayed the football club. He did it behind closed doors. He lied to us. He's the only captain I can remember in recent memory over the last 20, 30 years that has turned around and essentially spat in a club space. He then came back to the club, and we didn't punish him in any way, to the point obviously we had to get rid of him from the leadership group, but then we sort of got him back into the leadership group to mentor. Like 6 weeks later, there was no actual repercussions to anything that he did. And so again, we look at the messages we're sending through as an organisation. It's like, yeah, step all over us, and then just it'll be awkward for a bit, but then just come back and pretend like nothing's happened. And I just can't stand for that. That's part of the reason why we're still getting trodden over all over again. I don't think he turned around and said he didn't want to be part of this club 2 or 3 years in a row. What does his voice mean now when he's looking young players in the eye? It doesn't mean much to me. If they're smart enough, they'll see right through that. I just think we just cut our losses. The discourse around him every week now, whether it's true or not, it doesn't matter. It was true. He's always put his hand up that he wanted to go. So now whether it's maybe made up and maybe it's just the media, it doesn't matter, because it is the boy who cried wolf. We're going to have that the whole year next year. It's the last thing we need. He's a very good player. He's towards the twilight of his career. I think his leadership days are numbered. If he was such a great leader, there would be some of these players actually knowing where to stand on a football field and listening to him. I think those days are gone. I think it's time to cut the losses. End of the year, whatever trade package we can get, I think we do a farewell game. I think we celebrate him as the champion of the Essendon Football Club that he was, but it's gone too far, and ties need to be mended. And it just sends a sort of clean slate message as well, that you can't just come every year and say you want to be traded, renegotiate your contract up, and then ask to be traded again at the end of the year, because it will be done again if we continue to accept that. So
yeah, other players will do it. The interesting thing you said in there is one bad seed.
Yeah.
I'd argue he's the only good seed, because he's the only player that is consistent. He's our only good player on the list at the moment. Our young players will get there. Like, they'll get good. But he's the only one that's actually proven he's a good player. So maybe he was right. Maybe we should have cut everyone else around him. Maybe he's the only good seed and everyone else is the bad seed.
Let me explain something to you that I learned. I had to learn the hard way from a very special dear man to me. His name's Barry Watkins in the US. He's a little New York guy with a 12 handicap who's been PR to some of the biggest athletes and stars in the world. He goes, your performance is broken into 2 equal parts, the what and the how. His what is unbelievable. His how is nearly a 0. And he goes, as soon as you treat them as equal importance, that's how you build a high-performing organisation. And so it's not good enough to be the best at your job. It's how it's implemented and how it fits in with the wider regime, and how good a team player you are, and how all of these how items that match the what. And so for me, he's got the what down pat, but he's lost the how over the last 2 years. Part of it is that I think he's just managed it poorly. Maybe it was done behind closed doors. But now that the cat's out of the bag, it's out of the bag. It's not the same relationship it once was, Essendon and Zach Merrett. Give him, like, I understand those fans are like, give him a chance for a premiership. And I say, go get it and let us at least start clean with this new coach and a completely new leadership group. And I don't think the points you make are bad points at all. There's a lot of logic in those points, but I think it misses that how element that still hangs as a cloud over this club. So, yeah, I hope they find a trade this year, and I think it's a win-win.
I hope Herd comes back. Merrett says, I'm staying. I'm never leaving this club. And things will start to turn.
And give me a bit more money, which is what the GLG will ask for.
Naturally, GLG are asked for that.
Yeah.
That's what I'd love to say. And I'd love him to say, look, I've made a mistake. We all do. Or after the siren. I think that's...
And do you think maybe his partner should stop going to Gimlet halfway through some of our biggest losses, or she's allowed to?
She's allowed to go.
I agree. It's the best restaurant in Melbourne.
Who cares?
To be honest, I think everyone should not be going to Telstra Dome and should be going to Gimlet and watching games on their phone. So I think that's the best thing that's come out of the Zach Merrett situation.
He'll stay. Yeah. We'll be sponsored by Gimlet.
I hope so. Cavendish House. We'll see you there. That'll be where our open mic is at Gimlet, if you can organise that, Oracle.
Yeah, with the GLG.
All right. Quarter 4. Oracle asked the Don's mailbag, which has been exploding again on social media. So keep sending them through. We'll happily put them up on the story. And a few have come through, I think, email, as well as pigeon. A few have been to the Oracle's house.
We've got a few this week. Firstly, it's a tough one for you.
Here we go.
This is from Jess in Narry Warren. I'm a lifelong Essendon supporter.
Yeah.
My partner is a Richmond supporter. As we're expecting our first child, I'm finding it impossible to argue that our child should go for Essendon. At this point, I'm not even sure that I shouldn't consider swapping to Richmond. My partner says it's so easy to catch the train, to watch them train at Hunt Road, just near Richmond Station. They have family days, AFLW games, AFL training. It's an all-inclusive, easy to...
Is it a question or an essay? Yeah. Is this a short novel?
The question ultimately
I feel like the siren's going to go soon.
Why should I stick with the Bombers?
This is an easy one. You shouldn't stick with the Bombers. Like, read out all of those points. There is no sane human being. There's no logical human being. There's no human being without rocks in their head that wouldn't choose Richmond right now. No one's travelling to the hangar. We've already spoken about the hex of the hangar, which, by the way, is that cloud's only going lower and lower. And if we don't have the certainty of me being president, which I'm confident I'll turn around, let's say the child was being expected in 3 or 4 years, I would say, hang on. And I'm confident we can turn around that kid's future. But right now, as Ryan pointed out, I'm probably like a 2 to 3% chance to be president. Take the other 97, 98% and just give them a nice punt road upbringing and let them support Richmond. Yeah.
They're at Waverley for the next couple of years, so may as well stick with the Dons.
Yeah, and then he'll tell us Dons by 14 again this week.
Okay, next listener question is...
Hopefully we catch up with Jess from Narry Warren one day, yeah.
Ben from Glen Iris. He says, the Swans have moving out of the Melbourne fishbowl. Geelong sell the Surf Coast lifestyle. Richmond and Collingwood train and live near the Melbourne CBD. Question to the Don, how can you sell coming to Essendon for the lifestyle when we train at the airport?
Well, it's easy to go on end of season trips. You can pack your bags to training and then you're 10 minutes away. So that's number one. Number two, I was thinking of, like, you've talked about, like, maybe it's what sort of selling points we have at the hangar. I've only been there once. I wouldn't say it's nice, but it's pretty run of the mill. again, this goes back to one of the questions we had on the story around Marvel versus MCG. I think we need to start ticking off some of these wins again. I think we need to find a path to get back to the MCG. I think that will mean a lot for restoring the success of the players and being another selling point. Outside of that, this is why the herd narrative means so much to the footy club. We are currently at an ebb that requires like pretty brute force to get out of. And it's not a silver bullet, but it's like a third of the silver bullet is James Hird returning, even just out of interest. If there's other supporters that hate Essendon, I promise you they're still interested in the James Hird storyline. And there still is this fear James Hird would have won a game off his own boot against every single team in the AFL. Every single supporter would have a memory of James Hird, putting them to the sword. And so, again, that's just relevance and respect and fear. And we need that. And I saw Jobe Watson came out today, potentially, and said that, or there was a report that said Jobe Watson was on the Stephen King Melbourne coaching panel decision, and he thinks Essendon needs to do the same. Get a new young coach that can grow and listen to the players. Unfortunately, we are so far gone that that's not actually what we need. We need to have some respect and fear brought into us. And literally the only name for now is James Hird. Whether it works out or not, it has to be James Hird. And luckily, I think all signs are pointing to that. So all we have is 10 minutes to the airport, so you can get to Bali as quick as you want, or Vegas and do the battalion like the Brisbane Lions did, which led to a flag. And you look it up what the battalion is if you want to. And James Hird's coming back. Whether you love him or hate him, that's a storyline in itself. So that's all we have for now.
Anything to add to this? Yeah, I mean, you're a professional footballer as well. You want to go surf, you want to go fishing, you want to go hang out at Bondi Beach. Oh, come on, mate. Like, you get drafted. We've got facilities where you can get the best out of your player. Like, we do have world-class facilities. Whether they need to rip up the pitch or not, or create a different wind tunnel like that, been rumoured. Like, you're a footballer. Be a professional footballer. Don't worry around where the oval is.
Is there still, do you think, let me put a question to both of you, and then I'm happy to answer some more Don's mailbag. Like, is there still, do you think we're right at the end of running out of this beauty of like playing for Essendon and playing for the red and black? Do you still think there's like a tiny bit of that held on, or have we completely lost what it means to wear the sash?
No. All it takes is just getting absolutely around Caddy and Kako. They want to be so excited. Oracle, I'd love you to talk what you were saying off air about Caddy in the rooms pre-game. Like, as soon as you've got a bit of fun around you and we're not taking ourselves so serious and hanging our head whenever we miss a kick, they'll grab their jumper and they'll be so proud to have kicked and won a game in front of 90,000 loyal fans.
So I was fortunate enough to be in the room for the game, it was just interesting, the body language of quite a few of the players. The greedy little goblet,
Goblin, Gimlet, Goblet. Yeah.
Merrett wasn't really talking to anyone, but they were blasting house music, and Caddy was up and about and fist pumping. It made me want to.
It used to be Jaden Laverty, by the way, that used to pump the music. And get everyone up and about. Has had a great season.
Now, well, we got time for one more Ask the Don question, and it's building on Ryan's comment. Might be a bit of a loaded question from me, as I've got an answer, which I think I've told you privately and you weren't thrilled about. But the Hawks, you go to a Hawks game, there's a forward pocket, they've got the wizard hats on. They've got Wharfie time over in Freo, and I think Geelong did wide out. Now, you're the marketing genius behind NPL and PointsBet. So what's your give us a marketing hook that we can kind of get behind as Essendon supporters? Yeah,
so look, I mean, the obvious, it's got to be a star player, obviously. And I know you have one that I'll let you, I'm not going to steal your thunder because I don't particularly believe in it, nor do I see it as thunder, because it's just an alliteration. But ideally it's Caddy, because he's the one, although, again, he's just frustrating me a bit. But for me, it's Sully Roby. I mean, we earmarked him as the second coming of God, and I still think he is that. Like God's made, God misses a few tackles every now and then. Like it's fine. He still is the second coming of God. And I know it's a difficult one to potentially implement, but the Sully from Monsters Inc., which happens to be his profile photo on Instagram, if we could create those little things that you could wear on your head or around your arm so that everyone looks like the Blue Monster Sully, A, it would be at least memorable, B, would be having fun again, and C, every single person in the world will know about Sullivan Rope. And he deserves to have everyone know about him, and I think he is a bit of a fig jam type operator. And fig jam operators want to have the fanfare around them. So for me, I think if we can find something like that for Sully Roby, but it might not be as good as your idea if you'd love to let the loyal bring back the red and black listeners know what you've come up with.
No, well, I see Caddy and Kako as that there are cowboys. And Cowboy Caddy and Cowboy Kako.
Yeah.
And I think we should all wear cowboy hats to the footy to watch them.
And cowboy boots as well? Or is that optional?
That's optional.
Yeah. Yeah, again, and that's probably the difference in our presidential styles is I think I'm going for a slightly more difficult one. And I think if we can get Roby, I think there's something about Roby, and I go back to, there's another Scotland Yard inquest we have to do, which is how we beat Melbourne by 45 points. Like, just think about that. If we were like aliens were coming to Earth and we go, here's this team, watch it for the last 2 weeks. Now watch Melbourne get up by 96 points against Hawthorn.
Yep.
Now I'm going to show you another video. You tell me, is this or the moon landing like potentially more true? Because it was a 45-point win and Sully Roby celebrated that win like it meant the world to him. Didn't he pick Zach Merrett up off the ground? Like, I think we find a way with the Sully uniforms to get Essendon fans up and about. And at the worst part, if it doesn't work, we have heaps of happy kids. Monsters Inc., maybe a top 20 movie of all time.
So, yeah, okay. I'd love to hear from the fans. Sully versus Cowboy
Caddy and
Kako the Kid. It works.
Kako the Kid. Yeah, Kako the Kid. But it's Cowboy Kako, but with a K. Cowboy Kako.
No, he's Kako the Kid.
Okay, he's Kako the Kid.
That's
All right. Well,
anyway.
there you have it. Quickly, though, before we end, we've got to do real, unadulterated predictions.
Oh.
We're playing Brisbane at the Gabba this week.
Yes.
Maybe Gus comes in. Maybe Parrish goes out. Who knows? Let's assume everything roughly stays the same. What is the result?
Brisbane by 75.
Brisbane by 75. I think I think it's a 8 goal, 7 to 8 goals, which is what our thing is. But I would love, again, if they completely rip the game plan out the window and they just go and have fun. I can see it being one of those games where we get up 3 goals to 1 to start the game and then still lose by 75. So let's see how we go. Anyway, great to have the Oracle in the studio. He just adds so much. And good to have that Zach Merrett debate. We're keen to hear which side you're on, Essendon fans, and make sure to send through some more Don's mailbag questions. But otherwise, thanks for listening, and we'll catch you next week on Bring Back the Red and Black.